1.
Skellig Michael is an island off the coast of Kerry, Ireland, which was used as a location in the filming of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. The publicity did wonders for tourist numbers, and by November 2015 the island had received its highest number of overseas visitors ever. Skellig Michael, which means Michael's Rock, is also home to a 1400-year-old preserved monastery. There are 2 oratories, a cemetery, and a monolithic cross on the island. Evidence shows that the island had been attacked by Vikings several times, which could have caused the monks that lived in the monastery to flee to the mainland. To ensure the further preservation of the fragile monastery, limits have recently been placed on the number of tourists allowed to visit it.
2.
The aptly named Fairy Lake in Canada is famous for more than its glittering waters and tranquil atmosphere. Out of its still surface protrudes one end of a dead Douglas fir tree log. On top of the log grows another tiny Douglas fir tree. The log is its only source of nutrients. The little tree is in a continuous struggle to survive, and this has inspired many a photographer to document it on film. Every so often, the water of the lake rises and covers the tree stump, making the little tree look like it's floating just above the surface. Tourists have taken to calling the tree the fairy bonsai and often line up in the logging road next to the lake to catch a glimpse of it.
3.
Despite the fact that Madagascar is the world's 4th biggest island, it actually took people 300,000 years to find. As featured by the vivified film, Madagascar, it is home to many lemur species and the greater part the world's chameleons. It is here that you will discover the Avenue of the Baobabs, just as Skyscraper City, otherwise known as the world's biggest stone timberland. The woodland is comprised of limestone spiky dim rocks known as tsingy, which implies stroll stealthily. Its sources date back to 200 million years prior, when structural movement pushed a limestone bed upward from the lower part of a tidal pond. Falling ocean levels permitted the pushed-up stone level to get uncovered, and after some time the backwoods came into being. There are a few walkways and scaffolds that permit sightseers to get up near the stony marvel, without harming their feet on the sharp shakes. And keeping in mind that it might appear to be a totally unfriendly climate, you will discover 11 unique types of lemur here.
4.
In the excellent plan of history, Mauritius is a generally youthful island which sits on a sea rack that is raised over seabed level. Off the shoreline of the island known as Le Morne Peninsula, different shades of blue can be seen in a slow slant that drops off into a 4,000-meter deep chasm. Because of the consistent development of sand and residue along these concealed inclines, an optical figment of a submerged cascade has been created. The careful site of this fantasy was previously the focal point of a neighborhood legend. In 1835, servitude was annulled in Mauritius, and specialists were shipped off a local area of rampant captives to give them the uplifting news. Lamentably, the slaves confounded the abrupt appearance of the cops and immediately settled on the choice to hurry to the bluffs sitting above the sea and hop into the water, submitting mass self-destruction. This story has been gotten woven into the texture of the foundation story of the cascade, with some accepting that the spirits of the dead slaves are answerable for the stupendous optical deception.
5.
Close to Keswick in Cumbria, northwest England, stands a circle of 38 Neolithic stones. The circle is thought to have been built as a component of a massive convention during the late Neolithic and early Bronze Ages. To date there have been no broad unearthings at the site, and it stays muddled what might be covered underneath the surface and maybe between the stones. Much like the other stone circles to be found in the UK, it isn't clear precisely what the reason for the Castlerigg stone circle was. Specialists are not persuaded that it was an entombment site, with some trusting it might have been lined up with lunar cycles. English artist and thinker, Samuel Coleridge, referenced the Castlerigg circle in his compositions in 1799, saying the mountains stand one behind the other, in deliberate exhibit, as though evoked by and mindful to the get-together of white-vested wizards.
6.
Fiends Pool in Queensland, Australia is however dangerous as it very well might be staggering. Huge rocks, called the Bay Binda boulders, fill the riverbed. Rumors have spread far and wide suggesting that a young lady named Oalana from the nearby Yindinji tribe, broke her guarantee to remain wedded to an ancestral senior, deciding to flee with a youthful hero, Daiga, from another clan. The couple were caught and Daiga was removed by the elderly folks. In her misery, Oalana hurled herself entirely into the Devil's Pool and her whales turned into the downpours racing through it. Right up till the present time, local people accept that Oalana actually frequents the pool, hauling clueless men to their death. Since 1959 there have been 19 passings at Devil's Pool, of which 17 were men who suffocated. Native local people recount the narrative of a youngster who evaporated underneath the water subsequent to kicking at a plaque that celebrates the individuals who have passed on. In another story, two sweethearts stood together on the stone stage neglecting the pool when a wayward wave cleared them both into the water. The young lady endured, yet her male accomplice didn't.
7.
Tianmen Mountain in China is viewed as a heavenly mountain. Its holy standing has been fortified by the flight of stairs to heaven that contains 999 stages, prompting Tianman Cave, the world's most noteworthy normally framed curve. Tianman Cave is the place where the divine beings meet the human world as per Chinese legend, and it pulls in large number of guests consistently. It is accepted that disintegration brought about by water and soil prompted the arrangement of the cave. There are 6 secrets accepted to encompass Tianmen Mountain: the specific birthplace of the Tianmen Cave, a phantom picture taken of old strict expert, Gigu, violent waters in the left precipice of the Tianmen Cave, treasure as far as anyone knows actually covered somewhere near the mountain, the mysterious turning of the Tianmen Cave, and the sightings of the auspicious unicorn inside the crude woods encompassing the mountain.
8.
Holy locales spec the guide around the world. Alongside a portion of these destinations, the individuals who are interested may likewise discover vortexes or vortices. These are uncommon spots, the place where energy is said to either enter the earth or venture outwards from its plane. The absolute most notable and enormously well-known vortex locales remember Glastonbury for southwestern England, Stonehenge in Wiltshire, the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, and the Mayan ruins in Tulum, Mexico. America makes a case for significant energy vortices in the city of Sedona, Arizona. The individuals who take the alleged force of vortices to heart, group to Sedona in large numbers, looking for otherworldly mending. The most visited site is the Airport Mesa Vortex, where individuals are urged to climb the arduous way to the top and appreciate the terrific perspectives while paying special mind to huge circles. It is accepted that the Airport Mesa Vortex is an upflow zone that empowers your soul to take off to more noteworthy degrees of serenity. The other vortices incorporate Cathedral Rock Vortex, Bell Rock Vortex, and Boynton Canyon Vortex.
9.
Known as the coasting island of Venezuela, Mount Roraima is a level-topped mountain, Tepui, situated at where Brazil, Venezuela, and Guyana meet. Sometime before anybody even considered climbing up Mount Roraima, the Pemon Indians living close by viewed it as an unmissable piece of world history. As indicated by legend, an extraordinary tree that dragged foods grown from the ground for the earth was chopped somewhere around a progenitor of the antiquated Indians. The tree caused a colossal flood in the wake of colliding with the ground, and its trunk was the lone thing left after the occurrence. The legend further has it that the storage compartment is Mount Roraima and that the waterways streaming into it are the domain of these old people. Since the approach of explorers and sightseers, there have additionally been numerous reports of UFO sightings, with individuals apparently having seen unusual lights above Mount Roraima. Others have announced encountering an adjusted perspective while visiting the site, and in any event, having peculiar dreams of outsiders.
10.
The captivating Rakotzbrücke is any Instagrammer's fantasy. This man-made, semicircle connect is situated in Kromlau Park, Saxony, Germany, and has been given the moniker Fiends Bridge due to the legendary stories encompassing it. The extension has gotten broadly well known over late years in light of the figment of an ideal circle made when it reflects the perfect path in the lake beneath, giving it a really other common look. Legend has it that villain scaffolds, for example, Rakotzbrücke, were worked with the assistance of the demon himself in return for the spirit of the principal individual who crosses it. On account of the Saxony Devil's Bridge, the odds are of the assessment that people couldn't have achieved the sensitive curve, and along these lines the demon more likely than not been the person who constructed it. Fiends scaffolds are typically built from stone and incorporate Masonic curves. Some accept that Rakotzbrücke turns into an entry to a different universe when the reflection finishes the extension's circle and a full moon sparkles splendidly overhead. Looking sideways while crossing through the amazing circle will make the villain show up in the water, where he trusts that the following soul will haul with him to damnation.